I guess that's the part of the show where I'm supposed to start talking or something. Anyway, hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Outside the Box here Wednesday night on Freedom Reigns Blog Talk Radio. I am your host with the low voice, Kate of Gaia. Anyway, we have, everybody's showing up all at the same time. This is great. Okay, just making your mic hot now. Tony, yours is hot. Miranda, yours is hot. And Tom, yours is hot now, too. So we're just waiting for Cindy and Santo to show up. And we're going to have a rock and roll show tonight. How's everybody doing?
Yeah,
Not
really
bad.
good.
How about you, Kate?
Oh,
very good. Very good. Very good.
Excellent. Yeah, we're going to have a fun night tonight because this is what we're going to call the left-right knockdown punch. And by the time this show's over, there's going to be a whole lot more awake people out there with a whole lot more truth and a whole lot more power to wield. And this is what it's going to take, guys. This is where we're returning the power back to where it belongs, balanced out through all of us instead of a handful of people that just want to rule the world. Sorry, no, it's a place for everybody, and everybody has a right to be here and to take care of Mother Earth and drink some clean water. That would probably be a good start. Just saying. Anyway, yeah, I guess we'll just get right into it here. Where am I going to start? I love having the whole crew. It's beautiful. I just never know where to start now. Everyone knows Miranda. Miranda's the, what are we calling you now?
We are the Word Elf.
It was the Word Elf. There was something else that came up today, though, that was rather fun.
Oh, that's so long ago, I can't remember.
I know, it's like hours ago. Anyway, yeah, it was something, a lot of fun. But, yes, definitely Word Elf, and, of course, Tony Z, co-host, super co-star of Outside the Box, and, of course, host of Cosmic Blueprints on Friday nights. You guys want to do just a quick breakdown? I know we have a lot of new listeners. And for those that are wondering, gosh, that's an awful low voice for a girl. Yeah, it is, actually. Get over it. It's all good. Yes, the name's Kate. It's real. And this is my voice. Anyway, so I just thought I'd share that. I'm a two-spirit, so lots of fun in that department. Woohoo! But anyway, yeah, so why don't you guys do a little breakdown, then we're gonna get the rock and roll star, Tom, none other than D. Thomas Murphy, going to open your eyes to a whole lot of wonderful, wonderful things tonight. So take it away, guys.
Yeah, just wanted to touch base earlier. We did an excellent show today, didn't we? Basically about the CRS document, the Clausius Stantius. Go on then. What was it called, Kate?
Clausula Rebus Sextantibus. That's the Treaty Escape Clause, as it's the document called the Invocation of the Cross, which was just coincidental that it sort of turned out that way, that we have a cross to lay bare, not to wear, as in bear, but to lay bare. And that's the one. That's the treaty clause, which is available. You can find it on Before It's News. You can find it on the Freedom Reigns Facebook page. You can find it. Actually, all I would suggest now is just Google Invocation of the CRSS. Guaranteed you'll find it. It's on Scribd, and it's already getting posted everywhere. So it'll probably be something you'll want to read. It is the exposure of the birth certificate fraud, and we're just ripping away at the layers to show the system as the fraud it is, and the literal theft of the inheritance of mom and dad, which are the children. Just like in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, they had to get to a point where they hid the children so that the child napper wouldn't take them. And that's really what we're living in. We're living in the realm of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, the Wizard of Oz. It's all quite real, people. Anyway, so there you go. Yeah, so we had a great show. And I know Dell is going to have it uploaded shortly, so I'll let everyone know when it's available.
Already done it. That's what I was about to explain. If people go to Before It's News, and it's basically the BC fraud. If you just type that into the search engine or just have a look through press releases, it'll give you not just the document itself, but a brief description about the radio show that we did today, which is also contained in the same document. So you can click on the document, read through the document, and then listen to 2 hours of radio show where Kate very skillfully and correctly explains what the document is, line by line, word by word, and dash by dash, where to get the backup information, the legalese behind it, and also just breaks it right the way down. So if you can't get it when you've read the document, and you can't get it when you've heard Kate explain blow by blow what the document is, there's something wrong somewhere. So it's all there for you. There's no reason for you not to understand it when you've gone and looked at that document. We've been enslaved by our birth certificates, and that gives you a blow-by-blow account of how, and then we get on to obviously what we can do about that. So honestly, if you don't get it by now, you need to go and get that document, and we'll place a link in the chat room for anybody that's not switched in. But there you go. Over to you, Miranda. What's been happening?
I'm trying to lexigram D as we speak, so bear with me. I'm not in handed. Unknowing.
You're working on it.
I'm working on it, yeah, and it's fascinating. I've got hooked.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Irish in him.
There's Irish all over the place here tonight.
We're on the Emerald Green Isle. Yeehaw!
Yeah, we'll be shortly reclaiming our sovereignty or something. But Tom, you with us? Hello, Tom.
Yes, I am.
Would you like to just let the people know who you are and a little bit of background about yourself, and then we can maybe move on to some of the topics of discussion? That'd be awesome.
Oh, okay. I'd love to. I'm just a guy who started building outhouses in 1972 upon the congressional adoption of the Clean Water Act that intended for all waste streams to be dealt with at the source, controlled, contained at the source, every building. And so I went into that, and it became known throughout the industry that whoever was able to develop a device that would be the best available device would actually have a monopoly mandated by the Clean Water Act, which is a strict liability statute. It poses it's statutory violations that poses criminal penalties if you do not implement this. Now, the Clean Water Act is not positive law. It's public law. It does not apply to the people. It does apply to our public servants. Also, it applies to the straw man. And I believe everyone in this audience pretty much knows what the straw man is. So, but I had no idea at the time what kind of a force we would be up against. As we moved along through the 70s, we developed relationships with different companies that had different technologies, the best available technology then. But it seemed we had a hard time getting it implemented. And so mainly their excuse was, well, it doesn't denitrify, and we're not going to impose additional cost on the people because we still are going to have a sewer. Well, the very first goal of the Clean Water Act was to eliminate public sewers, use of public sewers by 1985. Now, I know this is blowing a lot of people away because the mindset is once you're on a public sewer, you're civilized, and that's civilized society. Well, that's not true. Public sewers are chemical and biological weapons of mass destruction. There's what's called exfiltration, that if the toxic pollutants, there's 65 listed toxic pollutants that are responsible for virtually every disease that man has is derived from these toxic pollutants, mandated to be controlled at each individual source. However, the government, who is literally the London Municipal Wastewater conglomerate extended over into America, doing business as the United States corporations and the co-corporations of the state ofs and the county ofs and the city ofs are all municipal corporations came over here and established themselves to monopolize the utility that was then, in 1871, was basically the wastewater, sewer utilities. But it was it was discovered long before that these sewer discharging leaches down into our drinking water resources, and those toxins. Also, you guys have heard about endocrine disruptors. That's pharmaceuticals that are released from our bodies from taking these different drugs and such. People flush them down the toilet, and those also leach down into the waters, and also they're discharged into navigable waters, which are creeks, rivers, streams, the ocean, and that's killing our fish. But one of the primary pollutants of this sewage is acidity, and acidity is what creates an environment within your body to where these toxins can operate and cancers can grow. I'm just to let everyone know, cancer cannot survive at a pH of 7.5. So if you have a loved one that has cancer, it's simple to elevate their pH through just changing their diet a little bit and taking sodium bicarbonate to get their pH level up and maintain it at about 8.5. And so that will eliminate that. But anyway, we went along into trying to work in this business and developing technology. In the late 80s, I developed a new biological process that literally eliminated the carcinogen pollutants known as nitrates. People recognize this. Nitrosamine is the real name, but it's known by nitrate, and eliminated it in its entirety, and also biologically recovered the alkalinity of the water. So that device today is known as the Reclamator, and it not only I went on to get 9 patents throughout the 90s on this device, and then in early part of 2000, I figured out a way to incorporate a hydroelectric turbine within the reactor, the tank, to where when we put air into the reactor to provide oxygen and mixing for the microorganisms within the reactors, 7 to 8 different species, we took advantage of that anti-buoyancy factor of the bubble rising up through the mixed liquor and got the mixed liquor to spinning within the reactor, and we just developed a hydroelectric turbine to take advantage of that hydraulic energy created from that, plus the coalescence of the bubbles give an anti-buoyancy factor at the ends of the vanes, which really created a huge amount of leverage, which calculates to about a benefit that would, for every 1 kilowatt used to operate the Reclamator, it literally would produce us 6 to 8 kilowatt that was free energy that would be sufficient enough to operate every home in America. So now we have a Clean Water Act that mandated it. It's a congressional mandate. It's a strict liability statute. There's no excuse. And now it produces energy. So that we had it tested biologically, the biological part of it tested by the National Sanitation Foundation, which became NSF International, which is the largest third-party testing laboratory in the world, in 1994. March of 95, the NSF International promulgated the results of this test, 8-month test on the technology throughout the entire regulatory authority. That would be EPA, at the federal level, at EPA at the state levels, and the county levels, Department of Health, they call them, and city, this Department of Public Works is what they're known by. And predominantly they're civil engineers, which civil engineers are a division of the London Guild and the Bar Association. A lot of people don't know that. I just found that out recently. So the bar doesn't just represent attorneys. It represents engineers and construction also. But what I'm getting to is our government, in fact, is a wastewater utility, an unlawful wastewater utility company. For this technology not to be implemented, by July 1, 1973, it was deemed unlawful for it not to be implemented. And the penalties and it divides it up into two different categories of persons within the Clean Water Act. The first category is a person that could spend time in prison. And after 6 days of unlawfully discharging in violation of this act, the penalty was $250,000 or 15 years in prison or both. And the other person was a person that could not go to jail, and that person is the legal entity, corporation, or trust that commonly we know as the straw man. That's our all caps entity, which is owned by the United States. A lot of people are confused about that. They think that we own it, but we don't. It's owned by the United States, which is the owner. The Clean Water Act applies to the owner and operator. Well, the owner is, as everyone knows, the state owns all property. So the owner is the state, the United States, and the straw man. And the penalty for the straw man not complying as an agent of the principal, the United States Corporation, the penalty is $1 million. And the beautiful part about this is your straw man is guilty, and you're the authorized representative. So now what we've done is we've figured out a way to where we can take action against the straw man, and the proper jurisdiction is the District Court of the United States, all lowercase, and then you execute a confession as the authorized representative, and then the clerk will have to offset the debt to settle the account. And that's from the straw man. So we're hopeful that this is going to be a method that will enable the recovery, economic recovery of America, because it would be real nice to be able to take advantage of that. But the big problem is getting the unlawful discharges of these toxic pollutants stopped. Currently, there are over 45. These guys, it's premeditated murder. These guys, I mean, they're so-called government imposters, the enemy of the American people, are responsible for over 45,000 deaths every month just from cancer. And without a doubt, it's from the toxins in the water that you can't see, but it's from the toxins in the water. So anyway, by 1995, when I had the technology tested and evaluated, I'd already completed over 100 projects internationally, probably 50-50, not even 50-50. I'd say, well, say 50-50 international and the rest of it within the U.S., but predominantly in Hawaii, because I was operating out of Maui when we developed the technology on Maui and started operating and marketing and selling. And it fits to any size. It can go in any size. I think the largest one we did was about 2.5 million, and that was for the chicken people. I'm trying to think of what
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Well, they were one of my customers. Price Costco, Walmart, Newmont Gold Corporation. I mean, we I did work for McDonald's. We did a totally self-sustained McDonald's in Saipan, a 200-seat McDonald's, where they were totally self-sustained. We took the water, we cleaned it, we put it back into the aquifer. They drew the water from the aquifer, and it just recycled. And this happened, back in, this was about 20 years ago. But by the time the regulatory authority, which is the United States government, the EPA, saw the technology that we had developed, and they knew it had to be implemented at every single source, it had to be specified by brand name or equal with every permit issued on any building having a toilet in it by 1995. I mean, from 1995 on. So they didn't want to do that, because if they did that, they would lose the revenue that they were realizing, the unjust enrichments that they were realizing from these unlawful sewers. And they just didn't want to give it up. They didn't want to give it up. And
not just that, all the money they've made in medications through people being ill from these diseases is going into trillions, I bet.
Precisely. That the fact that they're poisoning our drinking water basically feeds the other three primary criminal enterprises that they have, and that's healthcare, pharmaceutical, and insurance. None of us can afford to. We can't afford to pay $10,000 for a night to spend a night at the hospital. So you go run down and get insurance. So when you do get sick, it's covered. And so it was a big. It promised to be a huge upset to their whole system. As one of my associates says, no one was ever supposed to come along and develop a technology that received raw sewage from a home, transformed it, and restructured the physical, chemical, biological integrity of it to a pure, not only pure potable, but a healing quality of water. No one was supposed to do that. And so they boycotted me in 1985. I was the president of a company we had established Advanced Environmental Systems, and they boycotted it, and we fought them, and then recently, within the last 5 years, they've started bringing bogus charges against me with intent, and I've been told this, with intent to build up charges to say I'm a nuisance to society and to remove me from the streets and get me into prison, so I'm shut up. And I can't tell the people the truth about what's going on to them. And
so much for that. Hey, Tom, so much for that idea. Welcome to the Untouchables Club. I do want to bring one thing up, though. When you talk about United States Corporation, it is in fact owned by the Crown Corporation, and this takes it. This is way bigger than I think people realize. So I just wanted to plant that little seed to let people know this goes right to the heart of the Crown, City of London, square mile.
Well, what Tom's actually talking about here, if I'm not mistaken, is everybody can get clean, healthy, healing water, free of charge, because it's drawn from the Strawman account, legally and lawfully. Also, you'd get free energy, which would free us from the electricity companies, the gas, the oil, the coal, the nuclear, and all the rest of it. Plus, we'd live longer, healthier lives. It wouldn't be poisoning the planet. And, oh my God, what else do you want? And it's free, because you would claim from your straw man, get this implemented. If enough people stand up and go, right, we want this, then that's that.
And the key word that Tom used there that most people are afraid of is confession.
Yeah.
And by the way, for those that want to know, fession or fession comes from fessio, Latin for to make weary. So this is con, which can be positive or negative, with or against, pros and cons, or So it's for to make weary or not to make weary. So don't be fooled by the word. It means both things equally and opposite. I'd just like to clarify that so the true intent is known. So there you go. Time to make confessio, huh?
Right. Mm-hmm. And by confession, then it goes. You have absolute control of your case, because you, the living being, are the one that is taken action because you've been harmed by this straw man legal entity that has been, as you were saying earlier, fraudulently imposed upon you.
Absolutely. And you could collapse that at the same time.
Yeah, it's sort of like a right-left hook at the same time. I think they call that Smash Mouth, the band. Anyway, and you do it in a loving way. It's just, just be of me. Sorry, guys. Carry on. You're doing great, Tom. This is awesome. This is information people need to get, and it is stunningly beautiful. What a beautiful, bright new year ahead.
I can't speak.
Yeah.
I'm shaking.
Yes,
Well,
definitely very exciting.
It's so beautiful. And Dee, I'm lexigramming your name, and everything that you are saying is in your name. I could cry. D. Thomas Murphy. They tried to shut D up. A poet, a master, waterway, outhouse posse, straw master, stop the harm. His dreamy waters, watery dreams, sewer, spun waters, seawater, waterways, operates the waterways. D. Thomas Murphy, he sorted out the EPA, USA. And I haven't even started.
Oh my God.
And I think we ought to throw in there. I think we ought to throw in there. We can all be running our cars on this stuff as well. Hydrogen and oxygen through electrolysis, as Stanley Mayer showed us. So
Yeah.
It's about time people stand by people who invent these things and make sure that we put our voice behind these people. Otherwise, this stuff could go on, and we're not going to let it go on anymore. So it's time to be stand up and counted. There's an American phrase: "I'd buy that for $1." Well, guess what? It's not even going to cost you one. Well,
that comes out of RoboCop. that line comes out of RoboCop, and it stuck with me when I heard it too. And isn't Miranda, our wonderful little word elf, wonderful? So fun.
That was amazing. Wow.
Hey Tom, nice pre-send, buddy. That was nice breadcrumb trail. Excellent job.
yeah. Well, I just wanted to say there's one thing that has evolved into being the problem, and that is the so-called courts. The states own these municipal wastewater discharge, these sewer facilities. The states own them. Public sewers represent 40% of the municipal revenue nationally. It's where the cancer is fueled. Cancer of the corrupt government, the imposters. It's how they're fueled. And the problem is that that they now have started to attack anyone that puts these in. So I've turned from developing technology to purify water, because we've already done it, we're there, we've completed it, it's finished, to developing technology to purify government. I think that the same basic criteria applies, and you just have to implement the procedures to remove them. And mainly the problem we're running into is the lack of our ability to convene our own courts. The district courts are preventing us from convening our own courts. So this is one thing I'm working on right now, is to develop a method by which we notice the United States district courts of our intent, of the people's intent to convene our own Supreme Court of record, And hopefully we'll be able to get this done to the point to where they will be motivated to work with us as opposed to not. And I've had a lot of pros and cons on this. But really it's just a matter of doing business. They're private corporations. They're not courts in any way, shape, or form. They have no judicial power. And they're all about making money. And so we figure if we enter into an agreement, give them notice and a contract basically up front before we file our case, then they will be motivated to allow the people to go ahead and convene their case, convene their courts and prosecute their cases, because we're offering them 15% of all awards from our courts. So for every $1 million award, they would get 15%, and that would motivate them to work with us instead of against us, I believe.
It's an interesting proposition.
Yeah, again, they're all motivated by money. The prevailing attitude will be, well, why would we take 15% when we've been screwing you for 100 for the last 78? Well, it's been longer than that, but typically since the 1930s. So again, this is one of the reasons why I've been focused, digging as deep as I can into the original sin, as it were, to find the Achilles heel, where things that of the like that you're doing and many others, all I'm trying to do is add one more layer of armor into the arsenal. And this is a defensive, not an offensive arsenal, of where we are moving finally into a collective position of honor, where we have been duped into dishonor by bickering with their silly system. And what we had to do was find the original fraud, which puts the onus upon them. We're aware of the fraud now and how if you're going to use that name, well, you can't, because that is not a lawful name, because if you're claiming it to be registered, it was never placed as a contract in a lawful repository. And what you've given us is a short form fraud, public, a document that removes our parents from their inheritance, which the children are the parents' inheritance, not the other way around. Right, so that's what I was saying about the child mapper in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. It's the same concept, right? Listen, guys, it has been shown to us throughout our entire lives, and when you think back to your childhood, these are where you're going to find the gems of truth, because you knew as a child what was going on. You just weren't completely aware of how to convey that. But it's when you can find that inner child again, everything starts to make a whole lot more sense. So my only goal here is to be a part of the arsenal for people like Tom and others out there doing what they're doing, to give them one more level of, excuse me? And again, it's about holding these guys to account. We know what the fraud is. You can't use the name because I can't use it. And if you're going to try to convince me of using it, you're aiding and abetting me into fraud. I'm just making you aware of that. And there's the rule. By omission or commission of a crime, ignorance is not a defense of or from the law. Once you become aware of a crime, you have a duty and an obligation to correct it. Because if you don't, by omission, you're as guilty as someone that pulls a trigger, just in as much as the guy that's driving the getaway car at a bank robbery is guilty of murder if anyone is killed during the commission of that crime. Everyone's guilty because everyone was in the conspiracy, and that includes every agent in the government, every lawyer, every judge, every cop, anyone that has sworn allegiance to the imposter state. Some pretty heavy stuff.
Dee, can I ask you, once this water is cleaned, is it actually distilled?
No, it is not.
Okay.
No, it is restructured utilizing physical, chemical, and biological processes, and it's basically it's restructured biologically. I'm an absolute believer in distilled water. The problem is with distilled water, you don't get the alkalinity recovery. Are you with me? Mm. We should be drinking water that is alkaline, that is at least 7.5 or more pH. Actually, 8.5 would be more suitable because we have so many other toxins and such in air and things that we're exposed to, foods that are acidic, that will cause our body to go in the acidic direction. So our body is typically 80% water. So that is what you want to raise the pH level of, is that 80% of water in your body. My body is no different from the reclamator, the biological process of the reclamator. It's a living thing, and God just provided me with the method by which I was able to do this. It was a fluke that it happened. I was really attempting to do something else when we discovered that the benefit of this change that we made within the reactor and what it really did. It was a shock. It wasn't intended. We had no intention of eliminating the nitrates from the wastewater. The other two processes that were developed and by the United States Corporation were over 100 years old, and neither one of them denitrified, so they discharged toxic pollutants. And the septic tank, a lot of people say, well, I have a septic tank. Well, the problem with the septic tank is it creates toxification, which causes a toxic substance to elevate to a higher level of toxicity than it was in its original state. And that's because the toxic pollutants are introduced into an environment of H2O, water. And the result is negative, black, death. That's why a septic tank is black. It just kind of matches the robes of the judges. They're black, they're dead. And that's what these guys are all about, is kill, steal, and destroy. And that's what they're doing.
They're the Grim Reapers, of course, yes.
They're the Grim Reapers, is right. Yeah, so anyway, that's, we're just hopeful that this is going to be one way that we're going to be able to fight back, because once, that's they think that the money in the strawman account, they think that they figured out a way to stack it away for their own use, and through unlawful securitization and all these other schemes that they're doing. But when we, the people, learn that we can have absolute control and go prosecute the straw man for unlawful discharges and gain that economic benefit that would be the result, I think there's going to be a feeding frenzy on this one.
Absolutely.
It's going to be. I'm sorry?
Absolutely. It's so interesting because one of the ways they've been destroying the planet is we're not putting our human manure back into the earth. They've been stealing our urine and our poo for years, putting it in their system, and then polluting us back with it, or selling us our urine at astronomical prices for beauty cream for women to put it on their face. Whereas one of the solutions is your own urine. I don't know if you know about urine therapy, Dee.
I do.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Of course
mm-hmm.
you would.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I learned about that actually around 91. Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
I was...
Well, for the last 6 months, all I've drunk is distilled water and my own urine. And never felt better. And waking up every day through it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a potent cocktail, guys. It is your own liquid gold. And just, for people that can resonate with the whole idea of what a stem cell is, those are the magical cells within your body that can transform into whatever your body needs. And every time you go to the washroom, i.e. urinate, you are literally pissing your life away. Those stem cells are created in the core of your body, and they're generated constantly, and those are the building blocks. As Miranda said so many times, the first 3 months that you're in the mother's womb, you are being grown in her urine, and for the next 6 months after that, you are growing in your own, because that is what builds bodies, literally. So do not take this lightly. You can turn your nose up at it if you want, but I'll tell you right now, as a net, and I've always considered myself to be a fairly awake individual, but I will tell you right now, given what I've experienced over the last number of months, literally in the last month for sure, totally has been an awakening of a magnitude on a daily basis. You want to reverse your aging, you want to get healthy, you want to cure an illness so you'll never get it again. Your body has the ability, within your kidneys, there's your Libra scales of balance. Once your body has, say, taken on something, again, there's no such thing as contagion, it's an energy thing, but we'll get into that in another show. But whatever it is that is ailing your body already knows how to fix it. And what it does is it encodes that information, and guess where it goes? From the kidneys into the urine. So if you want to cure yourself, then you need a hair of the dog that bit you. That's where the term comes from. If you want to, an example, if you want to get rid of a hangover, first thing you do in the morning is drink a hair of the dog that bit you, and it's not cracking another beer, okay? Your body has the ability, and always has, it's a galaxy, guys. You are a universe unto yourself. And what you're doing is you're putting back within your own system in exactly the same way nature does it, in exactly the same way Tom is describing what his system is doing. It's absolutely mimicking nature and the creation of stars. So what we need to do is get over the hang-ups of things that have been conditioned into us, deliberately indoctrinated, and stop pissing your life away. And listen, you don't have to come right out of the gate and go full bore. It would be better if you did. But I guarantee you this: the first one in the morning, I guard that with my life. That's mine, because what's happening as you were sleeping, your body is healing, and it's taking the time to restructure while we're off doing our dreamland thing. The body is going into construction and repair mode, and during the night, all that is encoded, and it is placed in, guess where? Oh yeah, the urine. And all you have to do to collect that beautiful information that your body has collected all night, along with a large amount of stem cells, because it's had all night, okay? And there you go. There's the hair of the dog that bit you. If you want to get healthy real quick, unless you want to get into that, victim, what's the hypochondriac kind of mentality that has been indoctrinated into us as well, then go ahead. But quite frankly, I prefer being healthy.
Yeah, I just posted a link in the chat room how scientists are using urine to create brain cells now.
Yeah, imagine that, eh? It's funny,
I'd really like to see when a newborn baby is born early, instead of sticking it in an awful incubator, how about sticking in a tank of its mother's pee? I'm sure that can as
You're breaking up, and I can't make out what you're saying.
Yeah, Miranda, it might be an overload of the mic or something, but yeah, you're breaking up. I mean, I can hear what you're saying, but it's very, very choppy.
Is that better?
No.
No, you need to turn off some of your browsers if you've got other programs running in the background, your processor's working too much, or you're getting blocked.
Okay.
And just for reference, I've been trying to post this information I've just put in the chat box up in the Freedom Range chat room, and for some reason I've got a little message coming up. I've been restricted from posting any further in this chat box for 10 minutes. So I'm just trying to get the information out there so everybody has plenty of chance to copy it and go retrieve it. So if somebody else can paste it in the chat room, that'd be great. Thank you.
Well, thank you,
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to read you the first sentence in this article. It says urine is pretty amazing stuff. It can power everything from personal generators to plasma thrusters in space. But the power of pee isn't limited to generating energy. New research proves that we can actually make human brain cells from urine. Wow. Pretty interesting.
Yeah, you want to see a planet awaken in a hurry. You start getting a few hundred people more every day on urine therapy. And all these people are saying, oh, I want my third eye open. Well, here's your answer. You don't have to sit and tap the back of your head. You don't have to go through all these different things. What you need to do is decalcify it, and you have the tools. And what you're going to be getting is you get your diet right, and you're going to be drinking pure alkaline, filtered, sterilized, perfect liquid with your own building blocks of life within it. May I suggest you do that? You want, like I said, you want to reverse it. This is your fountain of youth, guys, literally. And I don't mean that in a mystical sense. I mean it literally. So just do your thing, guys. Get over it. And I got to tell you, after I'm a vegetarian anyway, but I adjust my diet. Take things out of it like instant coffee and stuff like that, because that was like pure poison. But I'll tell you, it was kind of a chuckle when Miranda was describing hers as like a nice sparkly Chablis. Well, guess what? It's a nice sparkly Chablis. And it's amazing. It's friggin' amazing. It'll blow you away.
Kate, and to all the listeners, I just got a message from Santo, and he is actually on another show at the moment, and he apologizes, and he's not going to be able to make this show. But he's actually doing an Italian show right now. So just wanted to give you a heads up on that.
Yeah, he just tagged me as well. So thank you, for Cindy, and look at you all over it. Yeah, you guys rock. You don't miss it. This is why I like hanging out with you guys. I don't have to worry about everything all the time. You're going to turn me into a slacker here.
Never.
You're right.
I don't think it's actually possible for you to become a slacker. No.
Yeah.
I don't know if my mic's working a bit better now, but I'd love Dee to tell us how we can help him. Boom, boom.
Oh, basically, I'm not sure. I'm just letting people know the truth. I don't know what the people can actually do to help. All these years have really come down to one thing and one thing alone, and it's we are going to have to figure out a way to prosecute these individuals who predominantly are members of the bar, holding positions in government and in civil engineers, which stem all the way from the EPA down through the regulatory authority, all the way down through to the individual cities and districts. And they are the wastewater sewer industry.
Hey, Tom.
Yes.
Just a suggestion for you, because one of the things, and it seems to come up all the time, and of course it has to, when we talk about trying to quote prosecute these guys in their own playground. No, I think for me a more effective way is public ridicule. This is about finding out who the people are that are working, and it's a matter of, we have such a beautiful forum now of getting the word out called Internet and connecting everyone. And the easiest way to do this is for people in their local area. Once they get this information and they understand the level of crime that is going on, you start calling these people out by name, and you literally call them murderers, because that's what they're doing. We've got to take them. We're not going to get anywhere fighting in their playground. So let's bring them to our playground. It's called Earth. Let's bring them out. All right. Let's show everyone who these people are. If it means going to their houses and putting posters on their front lawn, if it means putting posters up, and we were talking about this with the known pedophiles. Just start copying pictures off the internet of these guys and start putting them up. Known pedophile, known rapist. Don't worry about having to prosecute anybody, because I'll tell you this right now, nothing makes somebody run faster than public ridicule. This is where we laugh in the face of evil. This is where we expose it. We heavily outnumber them. So that's, for me, that's how I do it. I love to get right in their faces and say, hey, I know you're a crook. So you can.
Well, I wonder. I hope you can all hear me. I find it very interesting. All places that I walk my dogs out in the forest and the woods around where I live, there are water storage tanks and obviously pipelines that are taking God's water, the rain that's falling out of the sky, along those little streams. They are diverting it to the waterways. There's several ones around where I live. And they're stealing that water, and then they're sticking it through their poisoning machine, and then letting it through my tap, and then having the audacity not only to try and kill me, but to charge me the privilege. Now, if everyone started writing letters saying, why are you taking drinking water, and what are you doing with it? Maybe it could be start the question. I mean, I know fact that you write to a library and ask them, have they got a certain title? If 6 of you in that town are the same title, they have to get the book. And I know if 6 people in Parliament ask the same question, it has to be responded to. It starts growing weight. So if we even wrote a standard letter asking questions of where are you getting this water from, what are you doing to it, I see what chemicals you're putting. We know they put fluoride, we know they put chlorine, etc., etc. And this is all coming to light now. But if we start bombarding all our local waterways and borough councils with letters like this, they've got to do something about it. Ooh, I'm going to be popular. I think it is. It's just really, it's very simple. Ask the question. I know they have to stay in honour, so they have to respond. And the more they ask the question, they have to respond. And they're not obviously allowed to lie to us. So we'll start crumbling them anyway.
Absolutely.
Another way of doing it is I recently thought I'd like a plumber to come around and actually remove my toilet from my bathroom, cap off the cistern, obviously, so no nasty smells come in. And I don't want to start using an indoor compost. I'm not getting any of my nutrients that I'd rather give to the earth in the first place.
Compost is the natural way to handle it.
Absolutely. That's why Mother Gaia's dying. It's because we're not pooing on her.
Yeah, I can tell you that on this project here in Los Osos, California, a lady wanted to put in a compost toilet, and the county would not give her a permit to do that because then she wouldn't have any need to connect to the sewer and pay her $300 a month fee. See, the deal is all the funding, all the federal funding for sewers ceased upon the establishment of the Clean Water Act. You know, because the Clean Water Act was established because it became a known fact that a public sewer was, like I said, a biological, chemical weapon of mass destruction. And so sewer, they no longer provided funding for public sewers. So that dried up in 1988. But they didn't want to quit putting in these sewers because they make so much money. So then what they did is they started imposing it on people, on communities. A very good read that will give everyone a great overview of who our Homeland Security Secretary is, Jenna Napolitano. Her and I have been head-to-head since she was an Attorney General for the state of Arizona. Then she went on to become the governor for a short period of time. But I wrote an investigative report on her and how she extorted $1.8 billion from the people of Lake Havasu City. And that explains what's going on and who the culprits are. And it's available on our NSEA.us website. That's that NSEA stands for National Standards Enforcement Agency. Me and two of my friends organized this for and by the people. It's an unincorporated, nonprofit site that we established so the people could go there and search to learn the truth about what's going on in order to view the remedies. And hopefully we soon we'll have the paperwork ready to where people can start filing. The first thing we're doing is an agreement to notice, basically, and a notice to serve to the district court. And then once they receive that notice, then we're going to have the documents that are basically completely filled out, all pre-filled out. All you do is incorporate your name, you know, the specific address of the court and such, and we have to put our own case numbers on there, which will be the number from the registered mail that we use to serve the court with, notifying them of us convening our court. So we've got to get into a situation of where we can go into these courts and convene our own court before we can get that remedy, because they're not going to want to support people flocking in to file charges against their straw man. And the second charge against the straw man is double, so it's $2 million. So, and you can continue to do this over and over and over.
Hey, Tom.
Yes?
I just want to give you a little bit more ammunition. You ready for this?
I'm always ready for more ammunition.
Okay. What a lot of people don't realize, and I uncovered this a while back, I can't remember when, Tony, when I was talking about this maybe a month and a half or so ago, about the mayors and what a mayor actually is.
Yep.
Yeah, something like that, a couple of months or more ago. Anyway, what the mayor is the highest judge in the city, and this is how they've been getting away with doing what they're doing, because you know, where they say in the U.S. your judges are appointed or elected. That's right. So are your mayors. Up in Canada and other places, judges are appointed, but mayors are elected, and which literally means that the people in each corporate city jurisdiction are electing their judge, called the mayor, and every mayor on earth is under the Lord Mayor of the City of London. Because you have the Mayor of London, then you have the Lord Mayor of the City of London, which is the square mile, a totally different jurisdiction altogether. So if you're going to go after anybody in terms of anything, what you need to do is start chopping these guys off at the head, and you go after every elected official mayor, because they are the highest magistrate in the city. And every judge that operates within their jurisdiction, their city or whatever is incorporated, is actually acting in proxy for the mayor. So every crime, every act of corruption that occurs within that city rolls uphill to every single mayor, because they are, the people are ruled by the courts by consent by voting for a mayor. And the mayor is the highest. Well, if you want to look at a city hall meeting, you're wondering why people get ejected, because they're saying things against the city or whatever, and they're usually ejected by someone in a cop-type uniform, because you're actually sitting in court, because the mayor is the judge and the aldermen are the council, and they have the city clerk there as well. It's a complete mimic of the courtroom for every council or city or town hall meeting. So what you need to do, and I'm just going to plant this seed for you, take your strategy to their throats, because it fundamentally comes right back down to the mayor of every city that is responsible for every crime of every official or officer acting in and of their jurisdiction, whether they're part of it or traveling through it. So that might give you a little bit of ammo.
Question, Kate. Can anyone become a mayor?
Well, yeah,
if you're elected by the people, because just, of course, in Thomas Murphy's name is the word mayor. I'm just thinking maybe he should get elected as mayor and sort it out from the inside out.
I didn't quite get that.
Oh, what Miranda's saying is the word mayor is in your name.
Oh, is in my name?
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that maybe you should become the mayor and sort it out from the inside out. Because I was wondering who was enabled to become mayor. Where I live, I've often seen our mayors, and they seem very meat sticky and face or something behind, just like a little puppet. It doesn't seem to have much weight around here. I don't know if it's the same in America.
I think if you're going to do something like that, it would have to be on the private side, so you would have to run for private mayor outside of their jurisdiction, because the problem with running for mayor in their jurisdiction is once you get elected or electrified, that's what voting and elected is all about, once you are in their system, you're electrifying their system, and you fall under their rules. And at which point you're swearing allegiance to the fictional entity outside of yourself. This is why I'm saying if you're going to go after anybody, you go after the mayor completely, and you focus all energy of all efforts into every mayor of every city, and you make these guys and girls fully accountable. Those are my targets. Always have been, always will be.
Kate, I'm working right now on. Well, actually, I pretty much finished it today. I could share that with you guys on the chat room there.
Well, go ahead. What you want on the show?
I will. I'll put it on there here in a little bit. Is a verified declaration of truth regarding every officer of the court is incompetent. Regarding competence, and I think we got about 44 declarations of fact regarding their incompetence. Incompetence means they're not. This Maria Janet made this one clear to me, is that they're not American citizens. Other people think incompetence has something to do with their mental, status, but no. It's due to the fact that they are not an American citizen. That makes them incompetent to be in a courtroom with any one of the people. But I'm with you. It would have to be on the private side. And I can't think how many people would it take to give one of the people the status of mayor. 25? That should be sufficient, wouldn't you think? And you're right. It'd be on the private side. You don't want to be voted in by the de facto.
No, absolutely.
No.
And looking at your name deeper, you've got, and so you can stop mayors, stump the mayors.
Yeah, because
he's going to get them, G. You're so going to get them.
But actually, I'm sorry. I was going to say my status and standing from being one of the people would be superior to theirs, because they're fiction. They're fiction, as opposed to we're a man on the private side. Anything that has to do with their side is all fictitious. It's all fiction. I mean, they're voted in by a bunch of citizens of the United States, subjects. So what runs their show are the subjects. They bring in their subjects to be their jurors, and rule the way they want them to rule. So they bring in their 12 jurors from the plantation and say, okay, we want to prosecute your master here, so, we want you to rule this way. Well, we're changing all that in this package that we're sending to the district courts. We're changing all that. We're laying it all out, point by point. What's going to happen and how it's going to happen, and they're incompetent. They can't even step into our courtroom. And it's going to be 25 people are going to sign. We're putting it all together. Got the whole package. It's coming together big time. We have to reclaim our courts. We have to reclaim our courts, the people. Mm. And if anyone stands in our way, then it's levying war against us. And so we notify the clerk that we accept her oath, and we demand a certified copy of her bond right up front. That's part of the first preliminary elements of doing business. And this package will lay it all out step by step, what you have to do. And this package will be generic to where anyone in any part of these United States for America can submit this package into their district court to establish the ground for the people to come in and convene their own courts of record. And the beauty of it is the venue is anywhere in America. It's a reconvened Supreme Courts of record. We are the federal Supreme Court, the Federation of the American Nations. Nations. There's several nations that make up America. Several. I'm an elder. I'm an appointed elder of the Cherokee. Let's see, I think it's a Cherokee 11th Tribe Republic for the North America. Jeff and I are both appointed elders. But we have a whole bunch of nations within this America. And we are the Federation, which is the premier authority. The United States claims that they're federal. They're not federal. There's nothing federal about a private corporation. I mean, I don't know where they came up with that. Federation of Fictions? Well, that's about the highest level that they are, a Federation of Fiction. That's the best they can be, because that's all they can be. They started as a fiction, they're going to end as a fiction. They can't elevate any higher. That's their status, fiction. So, and when you have a status of fiction, you have no standing. It's blank. Doesn't even compute. And everything starts with status and standing. Problem is, everybody's trying to get these inferiors to recognize our superior status and standing. Yeah, I'm going to recognize you to be my superior. Yeah, I'm going to recognize that because they know they recognize, if they recognize me to be their superior, they're finished. I'm not at peace. I believe in peace, but I also believe spare the rod, spoil the child. And I believe in the rod. And I know a lot of these satanic minions that deserve the rod. And they're going to have to get it. In order to stop this and turn it around, they're going to have to get it. And the one thing that will enable us to do this and gain momentum is to enable a simple way that every woman and man, I don't know about, I haven't looked into the 18 part, under 18, but I know that every woman and man over 18 years old can take action and claim harm and collect. It's provided for. See, the beautiful part about the Clean Water Act is it gives you the specific fines and benefits. It lays it out there. For these guys, they've been also provides for, we'll get ready for this one. I haven't told you this one yet. It provides for a citizen suit. Of course, the way we do everything, we just say consider, because those aren't our rules, they're their rules. So we say consider, for example, Section 1365 of Title 33. Just consider it. What does it do? Well, it provides for the fact that we're able to claim civil damages in the amount of $25,000 per day since July 1, 1973. That's when it became unlawful. So that seems like the time you would start claiming, since July 1, 1973. Well, that accounts to a lot of money. I think last time it was about $150 million, something like that. Then it's treble damages. It's treble because it's RICO. These guys are a racketeer influenced corrupt organization. I mean, they're right straight from the Guild of London. We have all the proof to support that they are. Not only that I've accused them of it in 2 different states, in multiple judicial jurisdictions, over 20 times, and accused them of being a racketeer influenced corrupt organization. We posted it in the newspaper where they're persecuting us in Santa Barbara Superior Court, or what do they call their inferior court. We posted it in the newspaper and accused them of what they're doing, called them out, and then we got an affidavit that there's no response. So see, they don't care. They could care less. They have no fear. They don't have to answer to anybody.
I don't know. I disagree. I think they're very fearful, which is exactly why they haven't responded. Because if they respond, then they're, what's the word?
That's an admission of guilt. They know it.
Yeah, admit guilt. If they speak up, so that's why they're ignoring you, for sure.
Yeah,
and
well, they can respond.
If you're going to get people to do this, you need 23 signatures. 23, the royal star of the lion, it bestows not only a promise of success in personal and career endeavours, it guarantees help from peers and protection from those in high places. It is the most
Miranda, I wish I could understand what you were saying. I just can't make out. Is it just me or is it everybody?
Yeah, you're really breaking up. Yeah.
I'll post it in the chat room.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, try this. I'm always trying to fix things. See if you can back up from the mic, maybe another foot or so.
That may help because it sounds like a compression issue. Yeah, and again, it's Miranda's absolutely correct, guys, and you need to get this. The system is not in fear; they are in absolute freaking terror right now. Because they know the masses are awakening, and we are awakening in such a level right now. It is not a wave anymore. We are cresting a tsunami, and we are well beyond the tipping point, and they know it. And the only trick they have left up their sleeve is the fake alien invasion. And we've been and Rory made sure there was butter on the poster, so we have posters and popcorn and everything else, and we're looking forward to the show, guys.
Spreading the word.
Yeah. Spread the word. Come on, bring it on. I want to see this. It's supposed to be like Avatar in 3D,
Tom, in your last comments, you made the comment that it's in RICO. Now I know what RICO means, but some of the listeners may not. Can you explain that?
I'd be glad to. Yeah, RICO. Yeah, it starts in Title 18, Section, what was it, 1961? I think that's where it's at. I did all my research on RICO quite a while back. RICO's huge. RICO is when multiple organizations join together to levy war against the people, is what they're doing. And it's racketeering. It's racketeer influenced. In other words, I'm the attorney. I can prevent anybody from taking this away from the municipality if you civil engineers to go out there and do the designs and install them. And we will stand firm, and we'll prevent and we'll protect anybody from messing with you. Also, you contractors. Now, once the engineer does the plans, will you go out there and you put these pipes in just like the plans say, according to our contract? Okay, that's a racket. That's a racket of 3 entities that are racketeering in order to create unjust enrichments. That's where they join together to commit a crime against humanity.
It's conspiracy.
Racketeer influence, corrupt organization.
Yeah.
And private attorney general, the people, are totally empowered to bring any action against them in basically 3 different acts. And the Clean Water Act is one of them. The Clean Water Act is one of them. We're totally empowered to bring charges against them.
Oh, and do you want some pre-sent information to show you exactly what I'm speaking of with the rabbit trails? And Lad just put it in the room. How many times have you heard this commercial? Ricola. Yeah, that's the song. That's the song we need to sing, boys and girls.
My dad was just saying that going down the road, because I remember I told you yesterday about the lady named Nicola who called my house yesterday. And my dad, when I was talking to him earlier on the way back from shopping, I said, make sure you say her name right, Nicola. Don't say Nicola. And he goes, Ricola. Wow. Cool.
So there you go. That's that just tells me you're on the right track, Tom. That's just the pre-sent information going, yep, start singing the Rico song.
Yeah, well, if you guys want to go read about it, I've done several pleas of the Crown, and it's all under, on NSCA.us, it's all under enforcement actions. You can read all about we have a whole process that we went through starting, and we got it all stamped and everything served. When you go there and see everything that we've done to expose these guys, you'll see that the curtain's been totally pulled back. And then they came and kicked down our door and stole all of our equipment, all of our stuff, everything, every piece of, even my camera. Everything that was digital, my computers, printers, everything, stole it to stop us. Well, what they got was evidence of that they're the criminals. That's what they now have in their possession. The evidence that they thought they were trying to get to prove that we were a part of a let's see what they called it, a sovereign citizen movement.
Oh, they love their labels, don't they?
Oh, they do. And that came from Napolitano. That came right straight from Napolitano.
Yeah, she's as crooked as they get.
She's such an idiot. There's no way you can be a sovereign and a subject at the same time. Because that's what citizen means, a subject. You're subject to someone, something, or someone.
Yeah, what it boils down to, Tom, is their trained dogs need commands that they will react to. So they use words like free man and sovereign. This is one of the reasons why I absolutely disdain the use of those words anywhere near me. I am is all I need to say. I am, and that's it. And look what they do. They set up all these beautiful little trigger words to make their dogs go woof, 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 chasing cars down the road, fetching money for their masters, and they go back and they get treats. And that's exactly what it is. This is the natural way of things being mimicked by the corporate fiction fools. And again, this is, guys, it is as simple as us, the ones that are listening right now, and I know there are thousands listening right now. All we need to do is start calling these idiots out. It's about sending emails to your friends going, here, check out this crook. And that's basically it. And it's not even so much, and people really need to get this concept. It doesn't matter what you do physically, it's what you do mentally. This is a mental universe. This is where you change within to create the direction without. And you change the script. This is how you write scriptures. They're your scripts, so write them instead of working off somebody else's. And listen, the information you're bringing tonight, Tom, and what we've been sharing for a long time, and please, you've got open forum anytime you want to talk with us, no problem.
Yeah, and we need to get the message across to people here, Tom. I mean, we're getting information coming about, well, we haven't got the money and this, that, and the other. We've just explained we've got all the funds in the Strawman SESCOV accounts to pay.
That's right, in the clerk of the court. She's the one appointed to administer the account to offset the debt of the fine. I mean, we know how they work, we know how it works, we know the system, and now we've got the crime that must be settled and offset, and it's $1 million. It's $1 million. There it is. Well, NSCA is going to prepare the paperwork, and SCA gets a third. Okay? That's just the way it goes. But then the people end up with the $6,000. Not a bad deal. 666. And that contract.
Yes, indeed. I could use $666,000.
Couldn't we, though? And all we got to do is file the paper. First off, we got to serve the district court with the terms and conditions of how we're going to convene our court. Now, it's going down. Just all coming together. I'll have that real shortly. That's going to be made available. What we need to do is make this available to everyone in America, where we give them instructions, easy instructions. I do that sort of thing. I write operation and maintenance manuals for every plan I've designed, sold, and installed. So I do that sort of thing. And it's going to be a generic package that they just write in the name of the United States District Court and the address and everything, and the name of the clerk of the court, because we're calling her to service pursuant to her contract. Her oath of office, her contract with the people.
Yes.
And then we define exactly what she's going to be doing. And we tell her what she's going to be doing. And there's not going to be any fees charged on any filing that comes in under this styling, this style. And I believe it's going to be styled as a federal Supreme Court of record for the nations united for America. Because it's not just us. Our Native American brothers and sisters, they need to be brought in. I mean, we're all together here. You know, they divide and conquer. Well, enough of that. We're all one. If we're not them. And the dividing factor is the oath of office. If you've taken an oath of office, you're subservient to the people. It's plain and simple. If you have not taken an oath of office, you're not subservient to the people. You are one.
Do you want me to look up servant? Yeah, I looked it up in Black's Law. It's quite clear. And it's as simple as saying, are you a public servant? Yeah. Do you know what servant means? Oh, well, here, let me tell you what servant means. And you pull up Black's Law and you go, this is what it means. And guess who your employer is?
Me.
That's it. And Santo might be joining us. He just picked me on Skype, so I'm not sure if he's off the air with what he's doing, but I just told him to join us, so I'm going to give him the link again.
I wanted to jump in here real quick and just say to the listeners that those in the chat room, Tom, you've just received about 9 new friends on the Facebook page. But to anyone out there who's listening and not in the chat room and would like to send a request to Tom Murphy, his name is under that's D-E-E, Thomas Murphy on Facebook. Just send a request. And both of his web pages are posted there. Also, I have Miranda's comments or question. She just finished typing. She writes, 23, the Royal Star of the Lion. This is the karmic reward number. 23 bestows not only a promise of success in personal and career endeavors, it guarantees help from superiors and protection from those in high places. It's a fortunate number and greatly blesses the abundance, grace, the person or entity represented by it. As always, the 23 number can challenge the lion's strength and win. Can someone read that out? He needs 23 royal seals or signet rings boxed. And can Tom give us... Oh, never mind. Okay, I think that's it. So does that mean anything to you, Tom?
Well, I just 23. I don't know what you mean 23. I'm trying to figure out where that's come from.
Okay. Well, let's see. She's writing something else. So again, I'm just going to repeat that for anyone who wants to send Tom a request. His name is D-E-E Thomas Murphy on Facebook. His websites are Reclamator, RECLAMATOR.com and NSEA.us. Those are his two websites, so send a request, and I see a bunch of them coming through. Wonderful. And let's see.
Yeah, and a quick note here, 23 people need to sign the papers, not 25. And it's already going to be said anyway, but Tom, we have our website, synchronicity.com as well, and we're going to be tying all your stuff in with us, and we're focusing all our energies on that one location right now, because it's, well, hey, you mentioned the word posse earlier, and yeah, this is the Earth Posse, and we're going to be rounding up the bad guys. Did you notice what I called the room tonight, the one we're in?
I sure did. I love it. Yeah, that comes from a dear friend of mine. She's a member of a posse there in Lake Havasu City. I mean, it's the girls, and those girls are the ones that make everything move. You know what I mean? So that's what's here. It's the posse.
I'll tell you what, you don't want to mess with a posse full of women, that's for sure.
Not
no way.
Yes, indeed.
No, we just want you to know.
I appreciate that. That's great. I mean, here's what I visualize. Okay, I visualize having this paperwork together, all the instructions available, the package to submit to the district courts, and then the paperwork to go ahead and fill in and follow up 3 days after, because they got 3 days to dispute. They got 3 days to dispute the contract. Just like when we get a ticket, we got 3 days to dispute it, or else we accept it. We consent. And so that's what they're going to be. After 3 days, it's a consent. Am I breaking up, or can you guys hear me?
Well, no, I can hear you fine. Sorry, that was me tapping. I thought I was muted.
Oh no, I didn't know if it was bouncing back or whatever. But they got 3 days, just like we do, and we notify them of that. And so anyway, immediately following that, files in this paperwork, and you're talking about this mayor thing. Well, you know, that's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting. I mean, but didn't that evolve from their side, or would that be on the du jour side, this mayor on the private side?
Well, again, what you're dealing with
we're mayor of our own state.
Yeah, you're basically going after the mayor because they're the highest elected judge in the city jurisdiction, and they control all other judges under them, all cops, all lawyers, all courts, everything that is within their jurisdiction, they are culpable and responsible for. So you might as well, if you're going to go after anybody, don't pick the corporals and sergeants, go after the admirals and generals. And that's it. And a quick note here from Miranda, and I know exactly what she's speaking of, so please do not take these words lightly. 23 people need to sign your papers, not 25, when you send them off, and you have to send them 3 times. 3 times the charm. We know how the magic works now. And I mean this so literally. It is mind-boggling, and what has happened is we have been convinced to doubt everything we are as gods. Sorry, not doubting it anymore. So just wanted to pass that on from Miranda. Thanks, baby.
That's powerful. That's powerful. Okay, 23. Well, that falls right into exactly what we're doing.
And 3 times.
And we'll have 23 judges.
Yep. and fire it out 3 times. Has to be 3 times. I sent that notice out 3 times: Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and Boxing Day. And the totals are 24, 25, and 26 are the dates, which is 6, 7, 8, which is 21, which is, guess what, guys? Jehovah. 777, the power of Creator.
Wow.
Done.
Wow. Yeah.
We play with the magic now. All right. And we also have another gentleman, an MP in England, Simon, who's part of our crew. And we're going to get everyone around the world. You need to get this, guys. Any laws that were created through the Bar Society, which is centered and only centered at the City of London State, the 1 square mile. The bar is in London. Every lawyer, judge, anyone that has sworn allegiance to the Crown is actually a citizen of the City of London State. They are foreign invaders. They have no jurisdiction here or anywhere except within that square mile. There's some powerful
Wow.
truth.
I wish my friend Jackie was, actually, she's Jeff and my general executor. I wish she was on the call. She's actually lived, as we confirmed last night, she lived in London.
Yep, so why don't we maybe, Tony, it might be an idea to maybe get Simon and Tom and Jackie lined up for Friday night, perhaps?
Yeah, I'm already on it.
Okay, so you're busy Friday night, Tom.
Oh, okay. Works for me.
We're pushy bitches. The Super Posse, get over it. My friend.
The story of my life.
Yeah, well, you know what? You've got. Here's the thing, and when we find enlightened beings that have the power, like people like you, we throw everything we've got behind it, because all that does is superpowers you, and nothing's going to stop you.
Well, we're on the same mind wavelength there, for sure.
Nothing stops us, guys. This is our game. This is our script. We're writing it now. I've had enough. How about you?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, as I said. But this is the point. It's no good just talking about it. You've got to get on with it. This is what I was saying to Tara. It's like you've got to make it happen. It's no good just gassing about it. Oh, yeah, we'll do this, we'll do that. No, you just get off your ass and go and do it. That makes it happen, not talking about it.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't come on here. I've only been associated or affiliated or exposed to I'm trying to think of how I can refer this secret society. You guys are a secret society. The typical sheeple have not a clue that you exist. So you're really a secret society. Also, that's discovering the other secret society that's, sharing the people, the sheeple. But I'd rather be providing devices to provide the 6,000 people, 4,000 of which are children, every day that die. They're dying. I mean, look at how many have died just while we've been on this call. 6,000 every day, from lack of access to sanitary drinking water, lack of access to clean water. And we developed the Reclamator a long time ago, which is a little stainless steel box you put out there, and it's got this 3x4, panel on it that provides electricity sufficient to operate it just from daylight. I mean, it's just totally self-sustainable. And you can put it beside any creek, river, stream, and you can transform everything. You're only pure, potable water. It's from that polluted water source to where people can have access to clean, healing water. Even we got the whole package, got the whole thing. We've already submitted a proposal to one country already to do it, but they need money. They need money.
Well,
and we have 100. I'm sorry.
This is the point. If they access their strawman accounts in the Seska V Trust, they've got the money.
That's correct. This is the method by which we can water the world. This is it.
And for those, I do like to make this point, always like to make this point, when we're dealing with water in the mystical sense, like silver, we are dealing with pure truth. And water is the breath of creation. stars make our water. All the water that is in this universe comes from stars. And that's what we are. We are galaxies. We are universes unto ourselves. When we breathe out, we are breathing out water. And isn't it funny? Isn't it just a coincidence that the answers are going to lie in the truth? Water.
Yeah, and we've got access to limitless supplies of water. Because if we understand technologies such as Rodian physics or Russellian physics, using Rodian cores, we can manufacture water. It's not a problem. You know, we can just take hydrogen and oxygen molecules and make water. But this is the technology that's been hidden so that we couldn't have access to it in order to make it scarce, in order to make us suffer, in order to make us buy drugs, in order to make us get ill so we buy medications, and in order to divide and conquer the entire world. It's old news. We need to get it already. Everything, there is abundance of everything. We've just been told that there isn't, and they've lied.
Yeah. The only thing holding you back, people, is you. All you got to do is stand. It's not like you have to go out and be a martyr or anything. I think there's enough of us that have already done that. Don't recommend it. We're kind of there already. All we're doing is, we've blazed trails in different directions, cleared the way for anybody that wants to walk that yellow brick road behind us. It's been cleared. All you got to do is say, okay, that's a good idea. I think I can stand with them. And that's all. We're not asking you. Yeah,
I'm telling you, I'm just blessed that I've been brought to this. Something was said on a day on the blog back and forth, and it really boils down to the fact that the only thing that's going to get you out of your rut is this adversity. You know what I mean? And if it hadn't have been, if these guys hadn't brought these 4 felony charges against Jeff and I wouldn't have fought so hard, because I knew it came down to either we figure out how to take them out, or they're going to take us out. And I told him, bro, that's exactly where it's at right now. If we don't figure out how to take them out, they're going to take us out. So it's them or us. And we know why they're coming after us. It's about the water.
Yep. And just one other perspective I'd love to share on that, Tom, because I always like to bring in the good and evil of everything. Okay? When and we've all had our, had the system come at us hardcore. All the system is doing when they say that, okay, great, you're awake. Let's see what you're made of. Let's see what you got. Come on, you can do better than that. Because growing up, my mom was a tour de force for me, and one of the things that motivated me, and this was the biggest lesson for me, just to share with what you were saying, is I would accomplish something, and Mom would acknowledge it. She said, "Well, no, you can do better than that." And it's like, oh God, what do I have to do? So it was constantly, it was I wouldn't call it a tough love per se, but I would call it every time I was able to accomplish something, it would be like, yeah, that's great. Now, let's see what you can really do, kind of an attitude. And that's how I look at the system. And the system came at me hardcore, and I'm still here, guys. And I'm fighting harder than ever. So yeah, I have nothing but gratitude for the tests that I've been put through, where they thought they could take people like me and others out. No, sorry, I can't do that. Not in my script.
Well, Kate, that's what I was getting at a while ago. That's why God brought me here, because I know who the system is from the inside out. I was on the inside for 40 years. I know who the system is. You guys didn't know who the system was. You had no idea that they were an unlawful wastewater industry, a municipality from London. You didn't know that. You know they're corporations. But nobody knew about the water, the wastewater industry, the unlawful wastewater, the Clean Water Act, the effect of the real exposure of who these guys are. Kennedy knew it. That's why that's why he arranged for the Clean Water Act to be developed and implemented. And that's why when Nixon vetoed it, Congress came back. That was the last honest-to-goodness Congress that we had. And they said, no, it's going to be a strict liability statute. It's a congressional mandate. No one has any defense. Either you comply or you're guilty. cut and dried. And so that's who these guys are. But, I mean, a lot of my associates, they've been fighting for 20-plus years. 20-plus years they've been fighting this system. But you know what? Now we've got them by the short hairs.
That's okay. Actually, you haven't been on a show with Katie Pottymouth yet, so it's all good. All
due respect, we've got them by the short hairs because we know exactly now we got a common element as to what they're doing wrong, and they are unlawfully discharging at their home and at their workplace every single day. Out of 125 million homes in America, 12 of them are lawfully discharging, and I have a list of every one that's complying with the law. So, at this stage, it's a constitutional. How to term it? This one came from Judge Di Brandor of the Waganah Cherokee Grand Court. It's a what do you call it? Constitutional crisis. It's a national constitutional crisis, or something like that. It's huge. It's so big that in order to investigate it, you only look at who is in compliance. That's less than 25 in the entire United States. All the other millions are out of compliance. So they're guilty. All you have to do is take action and get the benefit. Because you can take action against their straw man, because their straw man is responsible for them, as operators, unlawfully discharging into your drinking water resource. So it's just going to be a feeding frenzy. It's not only, first you got to do yours, so you get clean up your backyard. Then you can start with each one of them. You go to the bar, you get the list of the bar members, and there you go. You go to the Civil Engineering Society of Civil Engineers for the state, and you get the list of the civil engineers listed on the list of for the state. And between those two, those are the targets, and that's who you go after. And when you do that, everything changes. Everything changes.
Oh, for sure. I just want to quickly jump in here. We got a little over 13 minutes. We have Cindy, you're back on, by the way. And we have Sandy, Spirit Dancer, joining us. So I just wanted to bring her in for a sec and get a few comments if that's cool with you guys.
Hi, Sandy.
Hey.
Hi, Sandy.
I've been listening. Good show.
Hey.
My question to you, Tom, is I know you were talking about going after these guys. You were saying going after them in our own courts. How do you bring them in? How do you go after them in our courts? Because they can't come into our courts because they're not living.
Yeah,
so,
they're dead.
How do we approach that?
Okay. Well, we go after them. They can come into our court as a wrongdoer.
Okay.
Yeah, we can bring them in. They can't come into our court as a prosecutor. They can't.
Okay.
They can't come in and represent a wrongdoer. They're not allowed. But they certainly can be brought in as a wrongdoer because our straw man is a wrongdoer, and it's a legal entity, it's a trust, it's a corporation, and prosecution for $1 million is provided under Title 33, Chapter 26, Section 1319, C3A.
And something else,
Okay.
too. I just want to quickly, customs of a community are senior to laws. I'll give you an example. It is customary for cannibals to eat their opponents. It's not against the law. It is no, I'm being very serious here, guys. I know it sounds crazy.
Right.
But it is customary for cannibals, upon defeating their enemy, to eat them. Now, it is customary, and this is where we can really stand our ground. It is my custom in my community to drink clean, potable, pure water. And
Right.
customs are always senior to law, so just another approach. I'm looking up customs right now. So
Good. That's good.
I don't know if you can
And
hear
the
me,
who?
but considering God gave us the water, I'm sure it's His very holy custom that we drink it.
Absolutely, and we can hear you beautifully now.
Oh,
Finally.
great.
Yes, so much better. So much better. Hi, Miranda.
Hello.
why do
I
I have
love
a-
every.
I was going to say, why do I have a feeling we're going to run past the hour? So let me just we got 10 minutes left. I just don't want to stop this flow. It's beautiful. I just want to thank everyone for tuning in to Outside the Box here on Freedom Reigns Blog Talk Radio, and we are going to go past the hour, and it will be on the recording. So anyone that is listening right now, if you want to hear what is said after the hour, the download will be available pretty much about 5 minutes after we're done. So I can't really tell you when. You might want to wait a little bit because I know there's going to be a lot more information coming out. So I just don't want anyone to feel pressured that we're under pressure to finish at a certain time. I just want the truth out. So bear with us, guys. I guarantee you this show will be a download of downloads, as are most of the other ones anyway. But this one I know is going to have some particular fun in it. So just want to thank all the listeners. And by the way, currently we have 27,500 people tuned in, and all you guys, all 27,500 of you, all you have to do is start. It doesn't cost anything to send an email. Start getting busy. Just start getting busy. It takes nothing. So there you go.
Quick question. Surely, are we not allowed to do citizens' arrest on the mares that are allowing this to go through? It's not possible.
Uh-oh. There again, you dropped out again. Can you back up or do something? Try to change something so we can hear you.
Repeat that, Tom. It doesn't like me.
Oh.
Okay, I want to read this, guys. Custom. It's noun from the 13th century. Hold on to your panties. Check this out. Noun, 13th century.
Speak for yourself.
Well, hey, this is the posse talking, okay? And we have an unknown again on Skype in a minute. All right, hold on to your knickers then. And always the first one in the definition is the senior one to all, okay? So 13th century, noun. 1, a practice that by its common adoption and long unvarying habit has come to have the force of law. See usage.
That's what they stand on. By the fact that they have, since 1600s, they've been collecting this sewage, regardless of the fact it's poisoning us. It's been the practice of law. It's to be adopted and recognized as the way it's done. That's what they stand on.
Well, that just got taken out from under them. It is not my custom to poison myself with water that has been unlawfully and murderously treated by another.
That's my position.
Good.
Absolutely.
Congress said it wasn't either. So, we're just kind of like, Congress said this, and we're going to hold you to it.
Oh, well, game over, guys. And what is happening and what I'm witnessing for the last while. Oh, hey, Miranda. Sorry, I can hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Yay. No, I was saying about citizens' arrest. Recently a lot of people have been arresting judges. Well, couldn't we arrest the heads of the waterways or the mayors who are in charge of the waterways?
There's elements to it, yeah, but you need to go after the top man, the mayor, as we said before, the mayor of London.
Yeah,
I'd happily arrest the mayor of my town.
Well, the mayor, this mayor thing is very interesting. I'm thinking that, we need to tie that in with notifying the district court that we're convening our court of record. It really must go to the mayor within each city that district court is established in.
I have got documents for you, Tom. I will make sure you get all the information that I've been and others have been collecting for a while. And that was one of the things that came down to the mayors. They are the highest court in every city. That's why we take the head off, the mayor.
There you go. And you've got the so-called United States District Court doing business within their city.
Bingo! Now
so
you're thinking.
The United States District Courts are subject to the mayor of that city.
Bingo!
Right.
That's why we're going after them.
All of which are subject to the King of the World, who is the
Lord
Mayor of
Mayor
London.
Wow.
And there's 2 Lord Mayors
So
of
how
London.
many?
There's appointed and elected.
Which one do you
So
go after?
what does every single town in the country have a mayor, or cities, or does every?
Well, cities and towns will typically. Sometimes you will find a mayor of a township, which is a collection of different towns, but they do have a town hall. And there is, I guarantee you, every square inch is covered by a mayor somewhere, somehow.
Right.
So if I write to my local MP, I can ask to send me a list of a mayor in this country, and I have to do so.
Well, here's the thing, Miranda, and this is the joy of the mayor. If the MP has an office within the city jurisdiction of the town or city they're claiming to be a part of, they are actually subject to the mayor because they're within their jurisdiction. They are a lower officer to the mayor. The mayor wears the chains of office.
Yeah.
So let's hang them with their own chains, shall we?
Yes. That's.
All the details are here, Bud, but, just deal with it, get it right for each individual case first, that's all.
Yeah, again, it's finding the fundamentals, and again, the mayor is the highest judge in every city. Everything that happens within their jurisdiction, that is their court. They are liable for everything. You take out the mayor, you file charges on them.
Okay. Well, okie dokie. Well, we're wrapping up the recorded part or whatever. So let me just bring you to a specific situation. We got Lake Havasu City. Janet Napolitano, she supported extorting these people by putting in an unlawful sewer. And we got the mayor. The mayor is the one that really has it's frontline liability. Is that what you're saying? He's frontline liability?
Exactly, because everything under them. We're going to go into the recording in about 3 minutes. So while we're waiting, we're going to continue on here. So I'm going to pull up a document that explains what I'm talking about, and I'll make sure you get it now. So just give me a sec. You guys carry on.
Yeah, it's just all the legal issues. It's different. It's slightly different in Canada. It's slightly different in the US. It's different in the UK. Blah blah blah. But it's all the same basic model. So once you get the model and you address the right documents, the right bonds, the right bits of paper, it's the same pretty much story. You just need to file a different bit of paper. So it's not worth worrying about it. The best thing to do is to contact Kate, myself, or any of the team really. And we'll give you the bits of information that you're going to need in your respective areas. And that applies to those people listening. So, it needs you to act. It needs the people to act. We've got the tools to do the job. We just need people to knock on the door and say, can I have the tools, please? And
if they're going to get $1 million for coming and asking for the tools, you better get ready. Your door's going to get wore out, brother.
Oh, wear it out, please. Kick it down. I don't care. I'm still looking for this document. Kick the shit out of my door. Actually, you can't kick the shit out of my door because the SWAT team and later on a bunch of Guelph cops decided that the door that I installed, that I put there, they thought they could just bust through it. No, these guys are going to have some repairing to do.
Yeah.
Hate to tell them
that's so funny when they kicked down the door. They scheduled their raid on our place where Jeff and his family and I stay. They scheduled the raid the day that we went to court, but we kind of got them in advance because our executor showed up with filed notices that the jurisdiction had changed 15 minutes before they did the raid, but they had to schedule. When we were in Santa Barbara, they were going to raid him and his family's home. Okay. And when they kicked down the door, it was 15 minutes after the jurisdiction had already changed. And so everything they've done, they just stepped in a bucket of, you know what? And the funny thing about it is, after holding his 22-year-old son at gunpoint, his wife, who is not, she has it's like a disability, at gunpoint, okay, to kick down the door and to steal all our stuff. But as they're leaving, after it's all said and done, his 22-year-old son says, "Fix the door before you leave. We need our security." And there's a cop. One of the cops went and got all the stuff, the nails, the hammer, and everything, and fixed the door and put it back in shape, operative again.
Amazing. Did he give any lip about it? I mean, or did he just go and do it?
No, he did it because he'd already been a part of the raid, and everything they saw is, we're just good old boys getting her done.
Yeah, we're in the recording now, guys, so just let you know. Okay. Still looking for that file.
We ended on getting her done, huh?
Yeah, I just posted a link in the chat room that Miranda had posted in our chat on. It's a list of all the mayors by country. So, and when I opened it, it's quite the list.
It's huge.
Yeah. Yeah, we had the website to that when we were working on that. So the information's all there. It's just a matter of pulling it all together. Now I know why, because it factors into what Tom's doing, and all the dots are coming together. Beautiful.
Well, Tom, that's going on your wall right now.
Something just hit me, guys.
What?
Okay. What if we were able to organize a pointed attack on a particular mayor? All of us. What if we were able to organize a pointed attack? You say, okay, we give a mayor, and we all organize this a pointed attack. Boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean?
Everyone file
that would be powerful.
Time.
Yeah,
everyone file at the same time.
You take one down, you take them all down.
Yeah.
Right. Oh yeah. And this little shrimp son of a bitch, we're not being recorded anymore, are we?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, we are.
That's okay.
Okay.
That's okay. If you want, we can end the show and continue on.
No, it's fine. No, I don't mind. Yeah, I just call it like it is.
I think you've earned the right to call them.
It's premeditated murder. He's a criminal.
Yep.
He's a bean counter, and now he's a mayor. The other mayor, God took out. Boom. God took him out.
Well, why don't we...
The one that ripped off the votes.
Why don't we go for 4 mayors? Why don't we go the Australian one, the main one, Australia, Canada, USA, and United Kingdom? They're covering 4 states that we're all from. Lord Mayor of London.
I know I'd like to know what you were saying, but I can't understand it. Anybody get that?
Yeah, we've already discussed doing this, Miranda. It's not new. I mean, it's already on the list.
Yeah, now it's time to get pointed.
Tom, I think you should start with the mayor of Lake Havasu.
Absolutely.
No, I think he should be the first one to go.
And guess what? His name is almost rhymes with Nixon. It's Nixon. Just spelled a little bit differently. So what's that?
And there you go. I just tossed the mayor document I put together in the room. I think you'll find this rather eye-opening, Tom. And you'll see the power of what it is we've been trying to get here.
It's excellent. Wow, what power. Now we just call them to their service, our service. They took an oath of office. They answered to us.
Well, again, it's easier to pick out one target and nail the shit out of it instead of trying to go after all the little minions. Like I said, you
Right.
want to stop an army, you take out the general. Then the little
Well,
guy
I've also targeted the voted in, elected, what do they call it? Something of the peace, justice of the peace. The lady there, I know her personally.
Well,
Justice of the peace.
it's time to call them into
Call them into office.
honor. They need to be called into honor. You give them the choice.
Honor.
You pick
Honor.
your
Okay.
now. You pick your side now. If you choose the wrong one, then you will know that you have later. We're trying to save their souls.
Right. I have another question. What happens if we were to go to and go after the mayor of Washington, D.C.?
You see, that would be my favorite.
Would that not take out the whole town?
Yeah, I would. That would be my preference. Washington D.C. mayor, given the 10 square miles there.
Right.
Again, if you're gonna pick one, let's pick something worthwhile. Get some media coverage up.
Yeah, you said go to the top. Well, there you go.
You know, we take out the mayor of London, the mayor of Rome, and the mayor of D.C.
Right.
Yes.
Let's take them down.
And the Lake Havasu guy can be next.
Oh no, we'll toss them in for good measure, just for shits and giggles.
Okay, well, it would be really good because I think it would be justice for Tom to have that one go.
Yeah, I'd just like to get a camera on the guy while we're taking down the D.C. mayor, and just to see his face, you know, get that on YouTube. That'll be fun, and completely documented.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. And by the way, Tom, get ready to have your Facebook go really, really crazy, okay?
Yeah, really? He has accumulated, let's see, I think about 17, 18 people through this show.
Yeah. And by the way, we're up to 34,500 people tuned in.
Nice.
Yeah, we're good numbers tonight.
Wonderful. Well, I think we have definitely...
How do people talk to a lot of people, Tom?
Hello?
Oh, did we lose Tom? Oh, looks like we've lost Tom.
Did we lose Tom? I guess we did.
Yeah, his phone might have died, so maybe he'll call back
That's
in.
true. 2 hours is a long time for a cell phone, so... And he thought he was going to be calling in on Skype, and we tried to. Well, I tried to walk him through it, and then I just, call in the phone number. So.
And well, that's kind of shitty. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Seeing as we've lost Tom here, why don't we end the show so people can get the download, and then we can catch up with Tom. And then we can really get our strategies together. And because I know the powers that be are just itching to get this episode. We love you. Thank you for being so dark so we can be so bright. Bring it on, bitch. Okay, guys. So we'll call this a wrap, and we'll do the call back with Tom on Skype. Okay.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome.
All
right, guys.
Thank you for tuning in to Outside the Box here Wednesday night, January 2nd, 2013. I'm your host, Kid of Gaia, co-host Tony. We have the lovely Miranda, Cindy, Sandy, and, of course, our special guest, Tom. Did I miss anybody? No, I didn't. Okay, good. Anyway, thanks again for tuning in, and thank you for downloading this episode, and much more to follow on Friday night. So don't forget to tune in to Cosmic Blueprints here on Freedom Range Broadcast Radio. 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Catch you on the flip side. Much love to all.